Welcome back, Clem.
That's okay. It might go off again. Something wrong with my input, and it keeps on.
Giving out playing 9 holes. I know.
Put some.
I wish. God, I wish.
Money, Clem, put some money in the meter. Come on.
Bembo.
Have to do a quick session. Is that why you left?
I'd be pleased to play 1 hole.
Brian, wasn't that a Hawkshaw trick of throwing coins?
Oh yes, yeah, and also doing the thing on the piano mic and all that, and say, "Can I hear the drums, please? Can I hear the guitar?" And I caught him on it was your session on the Demis Russo session.
I was there. I remember it.
Yeah, got him.
Can we hear a little bit more bass drum, Clem? Please, a little bit more bass drum.
No, the string one was my best, wasn't it, Mo? Strings in the cans.
Yes, very good, very good. I had on a session I was doing with Simon Chamberlain was on piano, and he said he looks up at the engineer through the window and it says, "Can you turn the bass down a bit, please?" Which is fair enough. So I just played a little bit for the engineer to hear it, and so he could do his adjustment. I looked across at Simon. He said, "It's no good. I can still hear it."
Oh, nice. Keyboard players friendly, aren't they?
Brian, can you tell us the details of the countdown theme?
Yeah, okay. Alan Hawkshaw wrote this piece of music for a little quiz program called Countdown, and it was
earning a fortune.
It must have earned him a fortune. Yeah,
still on now.
Yeah,
it's still on.
It is. Yeah, 4 times a day.
Yeah.
The Sig tune goes. Anyway, we used to sort of we both live in Radlett, so we used to work for each other for now. You know, like could put a bit of keyboard on and he'd come round and do it. And I went round there. So I took the kit round to his house, and his studio was called Hawk's Loft, and it was right in the top of the building, and the final bit of stairs was just outside the bedrooms, and there was a sort of had to get the timp up the stairs, and I couldn't get it up there because it was too wide. So I put this thing on. He said, "Look, it's just it's have you got a metronome as well?" I said, "Yeah." "What do you want that for?" He said, "Just want a metronome." So he put this metronome on, and it just went tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock for a minute or 30 seconds. And I'm sort of taking the piss, going, "Nice writing, Alan. You know, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock." And right at the end, there's a little phrase that goes da 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 boing. It's a timpani drum. So I couldn't get the timp up, so I'm outside their bedroom. Put the cans on. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, da 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 boing. And as I hit the timpani, Chris's dog came flying out the bedroom and bit me in the ankle. Drew blood, fucking dog. I couldn't believe it. So on the master tape, there's a tick tock, diddle da, boom, roof, can't fucking
Nice one.
Assuming most people know who Bobby Colombi is, drummer with Blood, Sweat and Tears.
Of course, yeah, of course.
I used to be quite friendly with Bobby, and he told me this great story that when Blood, Sweat and Tears were at their peak back in the, I guess, late 60s, the American State Department used to do these tours with musicians of the Eastern Bloc to kind of sell them on the idea of Western culture and democracy and the rest of it. So anyway, Bobby gets back from one of these tours with Blood, Sweat and Tears, and they're playing at Madison Square Garden. And there was quite a lot of antipathy towards people going to communist countries or dealing with, the reds under the bed, all of that kind of stuff. So Bobby's playing this this drum solo in the middle of some song, and he said, and out of the spotlight, he saw this object coming towards him, kind of almost in slow motion, and it landed on his floor tom, and it was a human turd.
Nice.
So he tries to dislodge it by whacking this tom-tom, and the turd just comes up into the air and then back down, and it takes him several before the turd shoots off sideways. And he said he must be the only drummer in history who's ever had human feces thrown at him at the garden.
I've had it shouted at me, but never thrown at me.
We were hoping that Ray would be here today, but I'll tell one of his stories if I may. He was in '67. He was touring with Cat Stevens in. I think the hit was "I Love My Dog," something like that. And they're in Sweden. And one night, the support act was the Jimi Hendrix Experience, because it was early days. They hadn't really happened yet. And Ray got to know him a little bit. Anyway, one night, Ray'd gone to bed. He's got his room on the ground floor of this hotel. And he'd just gone to bed. There's a knocking on the window. And he opens the curtains, and there's Jimi Hendrix standing outside there in his full stage outfit with the frills and everything. He said, "Hey, man, I got locked out of the hotel. Can you let me back in, please?" So Ray, sort of in his pajamas, opens the window. Jimi Hendrix climbs in, and they're both sitting on this single bed. And they talk a bit about Stratocasters. Then Ray says, "Do you fancy a cup of tea?" And he did. It's so sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dear
I want to
old.
know, actually, Ed, earlier you said there were only 2 occasions in your life where you dropped the phone in the bin. I wondered what the other occasion was.
The other one was it was after the Brothers in Arms tour, so it must have been around about late '86, early '87. And unusually, Mark was sitting in the office. He was sitting on the sofa in front of my desk when I was working, reading the Evening Standard, and the phone goes, and this voice comes on and he says, "Hi, this is Chet Atkins calling from Nashville, Tennessee." And I dropped the phone.
Yeah.
Chet Atkins. I mean, I absolutely couldn't. And I thought, first of all, I thought it was a crack, an idiot ringing up or something. And so and I can hear this voice inside my waist bin going, "Hello, this is Chet Atkins calling from Nashville, Tennessee." And I pull it out and I'm going, "Hang on a minute." Oh, and he said, "Can I speak to that there Mark Knopfler?" And I said, I'll see if he's available. So I put my hand over the phone and I said to Mark, "There's a guy on the phone who says he's Chet Atkins." And Mark put the standard down and the blood drained from his face. And there was a miniature of whiskey somebody had left on my desk. And he and I don't drink. But anyway, he had to, in order to take the call, he had to drink the whole of the bottle of whiskey, which he just slugged down. I gave him the phone, and it was Chet Atkins.
Yeah.
And he was doing a television special, which you can now find on YouTube, called Chet Atkins and Friends, in Nashville. And would Mark like to go over and be a guest? So, of course, yes. So the phone comes back to me, and I start doing manager things. And I said to Chet, "Who else is on it?" And he says, "Well, we've got the Everly Brothers, Emmylou Harris, Michael McDonald, Ray Stevens, Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson, and Elvis's band." And I'm like, "You've got Elvis's band." It was the TCB band, all the guys, James Burton and Jerry Sheffer. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm shaking. And so anyway, we went over and we did the show and we had a great time. And Chet was something of a great prankster. He would kind of just wind you up with stuff. When we got back, he came over to do one of those secret policeman balls things for Amnesty International. And he and Mark played an acoustic version of Imagine and a couple of those picking kind of things that he would do. And he goes back to America. About a week after he's gone back, my phone comes. "Hi, this is Chet Atkins calling from Nash." And I go, and by this time, we're kind of, we're on holiday together. "Hi, Chet, how are you doing?" He says, "Ed, I need your help. I've lost my teeth." I said, "You've lost your teeth?" He said, "Could you call the Kensington Hilton Hotel and see if they've got my teeth? I got my spares in and they're chafing my gums." So I call up housekeeping at the Hilton And I said, you had a Mr. Atkins there last week. He was staying in room 64 or wherever it was. I said, have you by any chance had a set of false teeth handed in? And the lady on the other end starts laughing. I said, no, I'm absolutely serious. So there's a lot of shuffling and boxes and stuff. And she comes back to the phone and she says, yeah, I've got a set of teeth here, top and bottom, full set. I said, I'll send some. So I sent somebody from my office, went down, brings them back. And I've got these teeth on my desk. And I call Knopfler up and I say, you'll never guess what I've got on my desk. And because he's a wag, he says to me, your cock. The level of wit. I mean, this is sheer genius. And I said, no. I said, I've got Chet Atkins' teeth. And Knopfler goes very quiet. And he said, what are you talking about? I'll tell him the story. I said, I've got Chet's teeth on my desk. I said, the man who produced Heartbreak Hotel, his teeth, my desk. Those teeth spoke to Elvis. So I called Chet up. And long story short, we send his teeth back. And he rings up a few days later and says, hi, this is Chet Atkins. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. He says, I just wanted to thank you for getting my teeth back because I've got them in now and they're not chafing my gums. Really great, Chet. It's really good of you to do that. It's Chet Atkins. And he actually was. We talk about him being a country gentleman. He was a fantastic guy. What a sweet man. And he introduced us to everybody in town. Everybody, even Pat Boone. And we didn't want to meet him. I'll tell you who we did. This was kind of a little bit sad actually. When we first went out there to do that TV I'm talking about. We'd been there maybe a day, and Mark rang me quite early in the morning. He said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm wanking. He said, well, never mind about that. He said, come downstairs because we're going to go and meet Scotty Moore, Elvis's guitarist. So we went off to meet Scotty, and it was interesting. Scotty was working in a blank tape factory, and he'd sold nearly all his guitars to collectors and stuff.
Oh.
Because, of course, they never made any money with Elvis. They never got a royalty. I think the most they got was $100 a week, and then the Colonel stuffed them.
Yeah.